Hey everybody, what's going on? KSA Kris here, the Real Estate Blitz. It's early morning, just hanging out. Had to knock down some direct mail and a few other things. And as you can see, I didn't even comb my luxurious hair today. I just kind of came into work and got after it. I mean, it has been a grind the last week or so. In the last week, we put in, or I put in like $4 million worth of inventory and took a bunch of listings, lost a few listings. I mean, it's just been wild, but I might talk about some of it later. But today I want to talk about, I did a video on listings to leads, and I actually got a question on one of my past videos from Steve Davis. Steve, thank you so much. He watches my videos, always leaves comments, love his comments. And it was on the Commissions Inc. versus Boomtown video I did a while back. That's probably like a year old. I still have a lot of the same beliefs that I had then. And I actually might go a little more in depth on some of that stuff because I got asked another question about CRMs. But so he hit me up. He says, do you use sync and listing to leads, or does sync basically replace listings to leads? And that's a fantastic question. And I wrote a lengthy reply to him. So if you want to see what I wrote, you can go back to the sync versus or Commissions Inc. versus Boomtown video I did. And you can see the lengthy reply. But I mean, what a fantastic question, because I think when people think of lead capture and things like that, they get lost sometimes. So let me tell you briefly. I'll talk about both platforms. Both of them provide some of the same stuff, but both platforms, in my opinion, should be used completely differently. Okay, so let's talk about it. Sync provides a CRM. Sync provides an IDX, so people can actually search and look at homes. Sync provides the ability to do lead capture, so you can create paid advertisements. Sync also provides a support system where they'll do the paid advertising for you. Okay, now listings to leads. Listing to leads provides you the opportunity to create e-marketing material, or online marketing material, offline marketing material, because I think it's better, because you can send stuff by email, you can send stuff by mail, you can send stuff by design print, you can, I mean, just a ton of stuff. You can go on and knock out video stuff on there. You can do your websites for individual houses on there. There's a ton of marketing-based stuff that you do with listings to leads. As far as a CRM, they don't really have a CRM per se, but they do have a leads capture area. So you can use listings to leads to capture leads. You can do paid advertising with listings to leads, and you can also pay them to pay for paid advertising with listings to leads. Okay, so they both have a lot of similarities, but in my opinion, completely freaking different. Okay, so if you don't, I don't want to say that. If you're looking for, I use both, and I use them in very different ways. Maybe I should start there. This is going to be a long one. I'm sorry. I try to keep these at 5 minutes, but this is important. This is a good one. Okay, with Sync, I love Sync and I hate Sync. I love Sync because I think Sync provides so much flexibility. It provides a pretty great CRM. It provides a lot of marketing capability, and that's how I get a majority of my inbound leads and deals. I do paid advertising off of Sync. I mean, there's a ton of great stuff. The negatives of Sync is freaking expensive, man. I'm not even gonna like pull your leg. Not the average agent that's working by themselves usually can't afford Sync, for one. For two, even if they can afford Sync, there's cheaper, better solutions, in my opinion, that a single agent should be using. In my opinion, Sync is not something that should be used for single agents. Okay, that's my opinion. I'm sure somebody would want to debate with me, but the cost, I think it's cost prohibitive. Just to have the CRM and the ability, it costs you, $1,500 a month right there, right off the top, when you can pick up solutions that are going to cost you $30 to maybe $400 per month. That's just to have the ability for a CRM and the ability to actually go out and do paid advertising with an IDX website. Okay, and it's not even, it's kind of branded, but not really. I mean, they're not there. There's really no frills to Sync. It's not like your stuff. There's better ways of doing it. However, if you are a team or a brokerage, like when we transition to a brokerage, that sun is no joke right behind me. It makes me look like I got a halo. I do. It's pretty cool. But you know, if you have a team or a brokerage, even with our brokerage, we provide sync or the account to every agent in the brokerage. Same with the team. They have the ability to go out and do their own paid advertising without paying the monthly fees, etc. Sync is pretty great. Now let's talk about listing to leads. Totally different beast. I use it a totally different way. So that's how I use sync. I use sync for the core of my paid inbound advertising for buyers and sellers. I use it as a search engine tool for people, and I heavily use it as my CRM. That's and analytics. Now let's talk about listings to leads. I use it for something completely freaking different. First, this is what people say. Well, listings to leads just does inbound leads. Yes, it does. You can go out and capture inbound leads with listings to leads. And it's cheaper. It's cheaper, but you kind of get what you pay for with listings to leads. So you can get a cheaper inbound lead. So right now my leads are costing me anywhere from $1 to $5 per lead on sync. Now, if you pay sync to do it, it's going to cost you $10 to $15. I've seen it go up to about $19 per lead. If you do it yourself because you know what you're doing, or like we hire somebody, we have somebody that works in-house for us full time, it's about $1 to $5 per lead. Now, let's talk about listings to leads. It can cost you like 50 cents a lead. Difference is the complete information of potential clients, the inbound lead itself. Listings to leads is usually only going to give you a name. It's usually only going to give you an email address. And then you got to use something like Spokio to actually reverse look up that individual, because it gives them the option to either continue looking or to opt out if they don't want to give their phone number. They can also log in using their Facebook, which is fantastic. It's one of the best ways to get somebody to actually opt in on something. And if their Facebook information is right, you can capture all that information as well. But it's just different. So you're not getting the full complete information that you normally would out of sync, but it is cheaper. So you can get a wide, you can go super wide, but you're really running email campaigns from that point. But it is a way to get leads in. I personally don't use it on purpose to generate leads. I do know people in our brokerage that do and have had success doing that. I get leads off of it based off of the materials that I create. I actually leverage listing to leads to actually go out and get more listings. It's huge, man. So being able, when I pull up to an appointment now, I hold on. I pull out my phone. I take a quick photo, or even sometimes if I have this bad boy, I take a quick photo. I jump on listings to leads, and I actually will create a website. So listings to leads, you can create an individual home website for that property. And I walk in, I wow them. I have a presentation on here. Listings to leads provides you, it shows it like a 17-page doc of all of the online marketing that listings to leads does, but it brands it for you. So it's like all of the online marketing Chris is going to do for your house. He's going to drop it on Craigslist. He's going to do a YouTube video, and it's going to have its own private website and lead capture system and blah, blah, blah. It's a ton of freaking stuff, a ton of stuff. That's for coming soons. That's for just listed. That's for pendings. That's for solds. You can go out there and actually do seller-based leads and get sellers in. Same as you can on Sync, but it's a little bit different. And you can actually negotiate and create how you want it to look. And where you want it to go. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do on listings to leads, but it's a totally different beast. So listings to leads, you can have your lender pay for it, or you can pay for it as an agent. I think it's like $30 a month. It gives you a ton of flexibility to go out and market listings. If you have listings, it market other people's listings. It can give you the ability cheaply to go out and start marketing for inbound seller leads, inbound buyer leads. But really the reason why I use listing to leads is because of I literally hit a couple buttons. It takes me less than a couple minutes now. Once I input a new listing or a coming soon, it generates and creates all of my marketing materials. I got them. Hold on one second. I might have it here. I think you guys will like it. It's really super simple too. I'm gonna find this damn thing. I might do another video later because this got extremely long. But I got some marketing materials. I might have already mailed them. I got some marketing materials that it prints out. So like if I want to do a 10-10-20 program, or if I want to farm the neighbors around a listing that I just got, it will actually give you multiple templates, 10, 15, 20 different templates. And I can hit a button, I can print them out, I can drop them into an envelope right here and just mail them all out same day. Listings Leads takes care of all of that simple marketing without having to have a marketing, like paying a marketing manager. That's why I like using it. And to me, they're two different beasts. So you can compare sync to listing to leads. You can, but in my opinion, that's not how I leverage it. If you use listings to leads like sync, sort of. If you don't have a lot of money and you just got into this thing for, either free if your lender is paying for it, or $30 a month, you can have something that's pretty darn similar. It's not comparable when it comes to what Sync provides, but if you don't have a lot of cash, Listings Leads is great. Me personally, I prefer to use both, but I use them for two different beasts. So I don't think it's a versus situation. I don't think it's a if or and situation. It's one or the other. Ideally, you use them both at the same time because they should be used as two different types of tools. Example, there's a lot of different types of hammers out there. You can't say, well, would you prefer a framing hammer or a sledgehammer? What's the job? That's the way I look at listings to leads versus sync. The previous video I did, listings to leads to Boomtown, that's a framing hammer versus a framing hammer. They're extremely comparable. When I talk about listings to leads, it's literally a framing hammer versus a sledgehammer. They're two different tools used for two different types of jobs, and I would not shortcome one or the other. I just would use them very differently. That's all I got today. I ran like way over my time limit that I usually try to do, but I just thought this was an important one. It was a very good question, and I have majestic hair today, so I'm just on a run. So here I am. Anyways, that's all I got today. Appreciate you all. Do me a favor, like, share, comment. You can go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel, The Real Estate Blitz. You can check out The Real Estate Blitz on Facebook. On Facebook, I don't really post up a lot of videos. I post up content, just information that I find interesting because I don't know, why not? And that's all I got. All right, appreciate y'all. Talk to you later. Bye.